Hi guys, welcome back to TechnoPow, and today I'm going to be bringing you a very interesting video, one that I had a lot of fun putting together, writing and making. This is a very interesting topic video because it's a question that's been in my head a lot. This is a comparing evil video, comparing evil between the Joker and Emperor Palpatine, and trying to, I guess, deduce who is more evil, because the question has been on my mind for weeks and I have to get to the bottom of it. So let's not waste any time with an introduction, despite the fact that one is coming up. Here we go. Emperor Palpatine and the Joker are two of the most evil characters ever created in fiction, encompassing franchises that span decades and the hearts of so many geeks, myself included. Although a question that has been pondering my mind as of late is one that I'm afraid we will not get to the bottom of, but I'm open to discussing it as it's a very fun topic. So, without further ado, this is Comparing Evil, Emperor Palpatine versus the Joker. So, here we go. First, a little introduction with our candidates. Emperor Palpatine, also known as Darth Sidious, was born on Naboo in 84 BBY. From an early age, he had a strong connection with the Force and was trained in the ways of the Force by the Sith Lord, Darth Plagueis. Eventually betraying and killing his master, Sidious took his place as the new Dark Lord of the Sith, while masking himself as the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine of the Republic. Using his cunning as well as his apprentice, Count Dooku, he slowly manipulated several events in order to orchestrate the Clone Wars, a galactic conflict between the Separatists and the Republic. Towards the end of the Clone Wars, Sidious began manipulating the young Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker, using his desire to save his wife, Padme Amidala, from certain death. He groomed Anakin until the young Jedi eventually fell to the dark side of the Force, crowning him as the Sith Lord, Darth Vader. Palpatine then initiated Order 66, which caused clone troopers to slaughter the remaining Jedi until they were practically extinct. Sidious declared himself Galactic Emperor and established the First Galactic Empire, and ruled the galaxy with an iron fist alongside Vader for 20 years. That is, until Vader's son, Luke Skywalker, as well as the Rebel Alliance, began plotting to overthrow the Empire. Palpatine sought to betray Vader and replace him with Luke as his apprentice. However, Luke showed resistance and sought not to fall down a dark path. During his attempt to murder Luke, Palpatine was betrayed by Vader, who had come back to the light, and killed by getting thrown down the reactor's core. Initially thought dead, Sidious transferred his essence into a clone vessel that had been modelled after his original body, and he secretly began conspiring to create a new Sith Empire. He was responsible for the corruption of Ben Solo into Kylo Ren, was the mastermind behind Supreme Leader Snoke, and the emergence of the First Order. In 35 ABY, the Emperor made his return known by revealing his army, known as the Final Order. A fearsome battle ensued between the Resistance and the Final Order, during which Palpatine was destroyed by his own granddaughter, Rey Skywalker, after she used the power of past Jedi to vanquish him once and for all. Due to the Joker's reputation as an unreliable narrator, his origin has never been properly set in stone and is prone to change depending on the story. However, his most accepted origin is as follows. The Joker was originally a man named Jack White, who struggled to make ends meet for his pregnant wife, Jeannie. Jack attempted to get into stand-up comedy, performing for crowds in Gotham City nightclubs. However, he failed miserably at comedy and made very little money. That is, until he was approached by two criminals looking to break into the Ace chemical plant in order to make their own money. The criminals targeted Jack because his former job was an engineer at the plant. Initially hesitant, the criminals told Jack that he would be disguised in a Red Hood helmet and cape so as to protect his identity. Little did Jack know that this was all a ploy by the criminals to implicate Jack as the infamous Red Hood, the one who orchestrated the entire plan. Jack agrees to do so, but on the day the job is supposed to go down, two GCPD officers approach Jack and inform him that his wife has died in an electrical accident, which unfortunately also killed his unborn child as well. Losing all hope and interest in the job, the criminals blackmail Jack into carrying out the job anyway. Once disguised as the Red Hood, Jack guides the criminals through the plant until they are spotted by a security guard. The scene turns into a bloodbath. The criminals are killed, and Jack attempts to escape. However, just as he does, the Gotham City vigilante, Batman, arrives on the scene to apprehend the Red Hood. Confronting a terrified Jack, Batman goes to apprehend him, but Jack, in an attempt to escape, jumps into a vat of chemicals and is washed out from the sewers. Taking off his hood and emerging from his bath, Jack sees his reflection in the water. Seeing that his skin has been bleached white, that his lips has been stained red, and his hair had been dyed green. The events of that day are enough to drive Jack insane, and he loses all of his past memories, laughing maniacally, and soon becomes Gotham City's most infamous criminal, the Joker. The Joker would go on to become Batman's greatest rival, and would terrorize Gotham City for generations to come. Now, for the purpose of the Joker, due to there being so many incarnations of him, I'm simply going to be discussing the Joker in general from DC Comics. So, unfortunately, I won't be including the Arthur Fleck version of the Joker as portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix in the 2019 film Joker. The reason for this is because, although Arthur is one of my favourite incarnations of the Clown Prince, he is portrayed as much more sympathetic and complex. He's not evil, he's just broken and misunderstood. So, as much as I love him, when referring to the Joker, I won't be referring to Arthur. Now, to compare the evil of the Joker and Emperor Palpatine, we need to understand the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath, as both characters embody those characteristics. A psychopath is defined as someone who consistently displays high levels of unemotionalism or callousness, as well as developmental destructive traits, including destructive or aggressive behaviour. This is displayed perfectly in Emperor Palpatine. He is constantly shown having complete apathy to everyone and everything around him. He only cares about himself and his own goals. He sees other beings and people as disposable. Though Sidious will happily manipulate these people for his own ends, he will easily betray them or simply kill them when they have outlived their usefulness. An example of this is when he tried to replace Vader with Luke as his apprentice, or perhaps more notably, when he ordered Anakin to kill Count Dooku in order to replace Dooku as an apprentice. He is also shown to have no empathy for those around him. In fact, one of Palpatine's coldest statements is that his only regret during Order 66 was that he wasn't there to see the destruction of the Jedi in person, including the slaughter of the younglings. So, for all intents and purposes, Emperor Palpatine is a perfect example of an absolute psychopath. He's manipulative, unempathetic, and just plain sadistic. In fact, just to again drive home how cold Palpatine is, the reason he wasn't able to sense Vader's betrayal in Return of the Jedi was because he couldn't understand the concept of love. As in, he didn't understand why Vader would risk his own life to save his son because he couldn't understand the concept of love. He is literally unable to love. That's how sub-zero cold Palpatine was. Now, sociopathy has a rocky definition and history. According to a site I used for this video, which I have linked in the description, in the early days that sociopathy was being examined, it was initially believed that it meant people who were born with no personality and were subsequently shaped by their surrounding environment, which would culminate in a good or bad personality. However, this definition has since been retconned, with the general modern definition of sociopath being a person with antisocial personality disorder, which can manifest itself into extreme antisocial attitudes and behaviour. This largely defines the Joker. In The Joker Blogs by the YouTube channel The Joker Blogs, Harleen Quinzel mentions that the Joker likely suffers from an antisocial personality disorder, meaning he fits perfectly with the definition of a sociopath. But what separates the Joker from other sociopaths is that he still shows a lack of remorse and empathy when conducting his actions. He's manipulative, as shown with Harley Quinn, he's abusive, he's controlling, and he doesn't care about human life or meaning. The Joker is quite simply a nihilist. He has no morals or beliefs. The Joker will blow up a building, blow up a school, or even murder someone's wife without thinking twice about it. And no matter how abhorrent his actions are, he still finds the whole thing hilarious. So that lack of empathy and remorse may lead you to believe the Joker is a psychopath, and in all fairness, he could be both psychopath and sociopath, as he qualifies for every single mental illness he was ever tested for during his brief stays in Arkham Asylum. But I'd argue that the Joker is a depressed sociopath. The reason I say depressed is because he has no value over human life, not even his own. And his ultimate goal in life is to get his archenemy, Batman, to cross the line and kill him. This means that the Joker is constantly taking steps towards ending his own life, but the only catch is he wants Batman to be the one to kill him. Despite this fact, however, it can't be argued that the Joker actually does just want to die. So I'd say he is a depressed, lonely sociopath. Though I could be wrong. After all, I'm not a mental health professional, this is just speculation. Feel free to leave your own thoughts down below. Now, comparing the Joker and Palpatine together, they clearly are very different people in terms of their personality. They may be evil to their cause, but they have different goals and mindsets. Palpatine has a strategic mind. His goals are based on what he's planned ahead, and he's willing to wait and plan further in order to achieve his goals. Palpatine spent decades planning his rise to power, and patiently waited and manipulated the people around him, in order to achieve his goals. And as we saw, his waiting paid off. Palpatine had a domination mindset. He craved power and control. He wanted a world where he was on top, and only he could decide what was right or wrong. Palpatine desired galactic control and craved an empire. He wanted to be on top of the world with no oppositions, and he was willing to destroy everyone in his path to get this power. The Joker, on the other hand, is a master criminal who is not only insane, but a complete and utter genius. Every single action he takes, he has a plan to back it up. Much like Batman, the Joker has contingency plans for his contingency plans. His needlessly complicated plots are what make the Joker so memorable, as he always has a plan, and his actions always have a purpose. Despite this fact, the Joker's ultimate goal, other than to get Batman to kill him, is to cause as much chaos as possible. Unlike the Emperor, who seeks to rule the world, the Joker wants to end it. As explained by Alfred,
some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
the Joker doesn't desire power, nor does he want universal control, nor does he want people to bow down before him. He just wants to watch the world burn, and he wants to be the one to do it. He just wants to cause as much misery and chaos as he possibly can, because it's where he gets his happiness. He revels in chaos, and he wants it to be the way of the world. He doesn't give two shits about the people he hurts, nor does he care about how much chaos he creates. The Joker just wants to watch the world burn. So these are the biggest differences between Emperor Palpatine and the Joker. Palpatine has a goal, he has the drive, and he has an end game, and his actions have a purpose. The Joker doesn't really have a purpose in his actions. While he does have plans to back up his actions, and he does love his needlessly complicated plots, in general, the Joker doesn't have a set-in-stone plan to achieve his goals. Rather, he exercises different plans, hoping that one of them would pay off and make Batman cross the line and kill him. The Joker's actions get worse and worse in order to make Batman angrier and angrier, and the Joker hopes that one day Batman will snap and kill him. The Joker's plans are different each time. They have the exact same purpose, but their actions are different. He has different plans for different situations, whereas Palpatine had one specific plan that encompassed one specific goal. He was nowhere near as creative or improvisational as the Joker. But when comparing their actions, it's quite hard to decide between the two of them. The Joker has been responsible for numerous deaths and continues to kill every day. He's blown up schools, cities, hospitals, and even crippled and killed those close to Batman. He also constantly abuses Harley Quinn and manipulates her to his own end. Whereas Palpatine was responsible for the entire destruction of an organization. He single-handedly organised the slaughtering of hundreds of thousands of Jedi Masters, and even after Anakin had been transformed into Darth Vader, he continued to hunt the surviving Jedi down until there was no one left. He also continuously used everyone around him, such as Anakin, Darth Maul, Dooku, and even his own master. People were expendable, and Palpatine only kept them around because they were able to keep him in power. Once they were no longer of use to him, he would either murder them or replace them. So given the fact that Emperor Palpatine was responsible for the entire destruction of a galactic republic, as well as his manipulative and sadistic personality, I can't help but feel that Palpatine is infinitely more evil than the Joker. Yes, the Joker is a nihilistic madman, and he has done truly terrible things, a link to which is in the description. But the destruction of an entire civilization the creation of one of the most powerful Sith Lords in existence, and orchestrating events that had rippling effects on an entire galaxy? I don't think even the Joker could do that by himself. So, for all intents and purposes, I have to say that Emperor Palpatine is infinitely more evil than the Joker. Despite the fact that the Joker is cold-hearted, and he's a very worthy contender, when comparing their actions and narrowing them down, Palpatine's goals and actions had vastly more severe consequences for everyone involved. That and the fact that Sidious was just purely evil to his core with no hope of redemption. And so, while the Joker remains my favourite villain and character to this day, I have to declare, just based on pure logic and the fact of what has been discussed, that Emperor Palpatine is more evil than the Joker. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was such a fun topic to discuss, and some very interesting dives into two of the most iconic villains in fiction. And again, while I do love the Joker more, I have to say that Emperor Palpatine is much more evil and cold-hearted than the Clown Prince of Crime. His actions, as well as his personality, speak volumes. But at the end of the day, this was all my own opinion and analysis. A question like this is entirely subjective, so what do you think? Who do you think is more evil? Let me know. And maybe I'll do another one of these, perhaps comparing Arthur Fleck with Sweeney Todd, or even Jax Teller with Walter White. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.